During his remarks in Warren, he is expected to look back on his accomplishments. And our David Sackrider joins us in the studio now. David, the president could celebrate this milestone anywhere. So why do you believe he came to Michigan?
Well, I'm sure making that announcement at Selfridge was a big reason, but I asked former Mott political science professor Paul Rosicki that very question. And there are a lot of factors at play here, but above it all, he says it's another sign of how important President Trump views the state.
He's able to reach out in some ways which he can't do in other states. So Michigan really has been a key state for him and probably will be in the future, particularly as the economy turns sour and his polls start to fall.
Historically, Michigan has been a major stop for the president. He spent the final day of the campaign in Grand Rapids both last year and in 2020, now returning to celebrate 100 days in his second term.
Michigan's a swing state in many ways. What's really interesting here is that some areas that are normally Democratic have gone his direction.
Rosicki points to a few unlikely relationships that President Trump has fostered in the last 100 days that may make Michigan a more palatable stop.
For the first time, Shawn Fain, head of the UAW, didn't endorse him, but has supported the tariffs to some degree. So again, he's getting a little support there. As I say, Democratic Governor Whitmer has been willing to work with him on a couple of issues at least. That's a bit of a surprise, I think, for Trump and even for some Democrats as well.
And, you know, I'm not supposed to do that. She's a Democrat. They say, don't do that. Don't have her here. I said, no, she's going to be here. She's done a very good job, frankly.
But beyond that, he says the president has more work to do to sell his vision in the Great Lakes state, as Michigan is one of the states hit hardest by tariffs and Trump's overall economic policy.
I think more than any other state, the tariffs are going to could have a big impact here. The auto industry has been asking for some kind of rollbacks or some modification, and that may happen.
And I asked Rosicki why the president would hold a rally like this when, of course, he's term limited and can't run for re-election. He said even though Trump isn't running, it doesn't mean he can't shore up support for other candidates, especially with a consequential election coming up in Michigan next year. In studio, David Sackrider, ABC 12 News.